Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. 5011 fam.
Why are we here?
Hello. And
That is my
welcome
question
to
of the day.
literally. This is another episode of the 5011 Chronicles, y'all, where we do what? Have conversations that spark conversation. And y'all, this is a continuation, another edition of WTF America. Sis, what are you doing? What's going
Literally.
on?
What's
What's
going
going
on?
on? So, this episode is going to be all about keeping your hands to yourself. Thank you so much for tuning in. Let's get into it. I think that it's kind of self-explanatory. Like, I think that really, the Nats this season have been ridiculously disrespectful. One literally just flew like over my ring light, and I was like, "You got you. It's over. Yeah, that's
You so
done."
country. It's
And
the most southern thing I've ever
Alabama,
seen.
there might be a second one, but okay. So if y'all see me clap or hear me clap in this episode, just know he came for me, so I came back. Um, okay, so this episode, WTF America, let's talk about keeping your hands to yourself. There's been a lot going on. The girls have been
Yes.
fighting. The girls have been fighting.
And I do just want to
And
say before we start, because you know how they say like when you don't finish what you're supposed to finish on Earth, or like if you don't learn your lessons and do what you're supposed to do, like you have to come back.
mhm.
Don't bring me back. God, please don't. Tell me what I need to do when I come back. And I was asking on Facebook, I'm like, so if Lucifer came down here when he got casted out, does coming back mean that you're in hell? Did you go to hell? Did our spirit fuck up last time and we're
No,
in hell?
I don't know if I've said it on here, but you know my theory about hell, right?
What's your theory?
This is my theory about hell. So, for my biblical people, check the book.
Check the book.
When God created heavens and the earth, per the biblical instruction, um, He created heaven and the earth. Hell did not exist. At no
Hmm.
point did He create a hell for all
He
of
did.
the
He
demons and
did.
everything to go to. So they're here. They're here.
And we're
Now,
here.
there's a spiritual version of here, I believe, but they're here. They're here. And at the end of the book, when we get to Revelations and we talk about the promises of the coming back and what happens to the evil and the damned, is that they are cast into the lake of fire. But as you read about this lake of fire, it is brought here. It is created
It
here.
was just a boat on fire at Lake Lanier, so I don't know. That might be a
Lake
sign.
Lanier showed out, and let me tell you, I'm gonna come back to that. I'm gonna come back to that. Let's bookmark Lake Lanier
That
because
might
I'm
be the
coming back
Lake
to
of
that.
Fire.
But this is my theory about hell: is that yes, Earth is hell because there will be a new Earth created, a new heaven created. This dimension, this plane, is gonna be left. People are gonna be left behind. Those things are gonna be left behind here to
Take
suffer
me to Earth too.
in this space. That because remember, what do they say that the rainbow is? It's the promise that God would not destroy this earth by water again. The next time would be by fire. So what would that turn this planet into? It'd just be on fire. It
It
would be
would.
hell.
It could be turned into, and then it'll dry up and be a big rock,
Then it'll
another
be a big
moon.
rock.
It'd just be another moon. What if the moon is the last time God set them on fire, and
Hey,
it's just still out there,
that's what moons are.
and
Hello.
that's why
What if
we can
that?
see it.
That's the reminder.
That might have been the last Earth that they didn't get right,
Hello. That might be the reminder. Um, you're onto
or it could be the
something.
sun. You know, the sun is still on fire, so it could be the sun.
Hello. Come on now. So let me tell you, there's room for this theory to exist because if, as Christians say, if we're saying the Bible is true and everything is true, at no point does God create hell, but God does set this planet on fire. This is hell. That's why everything's going like it is the
And it
from
looks like
create
it. When
from
you walk
creation to
outside,
now
it
is the
looks like it.
progression to literally. It'd be so hot. So I want to go back to what you said about Lake Lanier because first of all, to our white
Why are people
listeners
still there?
that we're manifesting, do not
Don't.
go visit and hop in and vote on Lake Lanier. It's not for you.
I don't even know how it's still open. Like, how are people still allowed to go out there?
This, and it keeps happening. Every summer we hear another Lake
It
Lanier horror
happens
story.
every
And
single
it's
year.
always the Wahipes who decided to get out
And it's
there.
like, why? Why are we still going? Lake Lanier was a thing before I got here, and I've been here about 10 years at this point.
Lake
So,
Lanier's been a thing since it was a thing.
period.
Like literally
Period.
since since
Since it was,
since
since they
we
did
figured
it.
out, since it happened, that land, and let me tell you, again, there I know that there are people out there who are non-believers, atheistic, and to me, I can understand someone who's agnostic. I think atheism is something I'm still
It got to be a
creating a
sad
space of.
life to live as an
It's
atheist,
got to
though,
be
because
sad,
to
and it
think that it starts and stops with this,
we
uh, the people,
there's for
the
me
human.
there's with atheists, like there's no hope
I need
in the
something
outlook
more.
on life. I need so much more, and to me God gives me that hope, and I have something to
Period.
believe in and faith and something to achieve and work towards. But okay, so like I did, yeah, I went on a whole tangent and I was about to keep
I don't
going,
even think it's
but
no atheists over here at this point because all the videos we did made. I don't think. I don't
not
think
over
they're
here. Yeah, they're not.
here.
They're not listening to us.
I don't
That
think
first
they
episode,
like
they be
it.
like, they're a little too spiritual for
This ain't
me.
it.
This is their, and they're doing that hoobie jooby, that all that stuff. They talk about them hoobie joobies. I ain't got nothing to do with
Okay.
it. But I'm a firm believer that land, space, objects can attach energy. Energy can or
Hmm.
energy can attach to them. It can be a spiritual
Yes.
energy that can be positive or negative. Some people might call it
Hmm.
luck. Some people might call it misfortune or bad luck or a cursed item. But I think all of those things can be true because I'm a firm believer in movements of the spirit. Things that I've seen myself as a practitioner and a believer, things that I've known my friends and cohorts to experience. There's just too much out there for me to not believe
Hmm.
in God, but also for me to not believe that there's an enemy out there, whatever its name might be. There's good and there's
Okay.
evil and there's in between. There is gray space. Like as I've gotten older, even my faith has helped me understand spiritual space is completely different. And I want to
Hmm.
say this for the people who don't believe. I have no reason to lie to you. So I'm going to tell you my experience. The first time I went to New Orleans, it was my mom, Aisha, my aunts, two of my aunts. We had a good old time. It was a good old, we
Hmm.
had a gay old time. We had a good old time in New Orleans. And we just happened to go on a weekend where there was a festival of some sort and parades and stuff going on. So that was really cool. There were also a lot of butt cheeks out. There were so many
Come
butt
on,
cheeks
Betsy.
out, Bourbon Street and the French Quarter. But the house that we stayed in had a spiritual energy about it. And it was one of those things you just can't shake. Like, I'm very sensitive to spiritual energy, very sensitive. I can come into, I'm not supposed to be here. Let me go ahead and exit. Or I can come, okay, there's some good people here. Like I can feel out the space. Um, and that first night we were asleep and Aisha and I were in the back room. My aunts were in the side room. My mom slept in the front room. And I could not get to sleep. Every time I would doze off, it would sound like, and it would feel like somebody was walking right up on me. Like, you know how you can
Hmm.
feel someone walk up on
Well,
you without
I hate
seeing
that
them?
feeling.
And it just feel like, so my eyes would like, I would just open my eyes instantly in defense, like,
Hmm.
what? And there'd be nothing there. And then when that wasn't happening, I was hearing like padding up and down the hall, like feet, like people are walking. So I would think like, okay, maybe an aunt sub using the restroom in the middle of the night, but it kept going on. So I got next to no sleep the first night we were in New Orleans. And I get up pretty early, and the only other person up is my mom. And my mom is incredibly spiritual as well as religious. And so a lot of, I think, my spiritual energy I've also gotten from just being around her. It's just one of those things where when you're raised by someone as spiritually sensitive, it might just pass down through generations. Because there are a lot of us in my family that have spiritual sensitivities. And so I'm like, I go in there and she's made coffee and it's maybe 8 o'clock. We're on vacation. Why am I up 8 o'clock in the morning? seven
Okay,
o'clock in
because
the
I
morning.
wouldn't
Like,
be.
why are we up? And so
Mm-mm.
I'm just in there, like, just kind of dragging. And I'm like, morning, Ma. And she's like, morning. And I was like, did you sleep? And she was like, not that great. Like, it sounded like people were moving in next door or upstairs. It was the craziest thing. No, she said it sounded like people were moving in next door. That's what she said. All night, I'm just hearing bumping and moving and stuff. Like, it just sounds like people are walking and moving. I said, really? Because for me, instead of it sounding like someone was walking down the hallway, it sounded like someone was walking above us. That's what it sounded like. They were walking on the level above us, and there wasn't a level above us. But it sounded like they was walking above us. And then every time I would doze off, it felt like someone would just walk up on me. And so that was her experience. Is she couldn't get any sleep because it just sounded like people. When we got out for the day, the people who were in the Airbnb next to us, which was not connected, people who were in the Airbnb next to us weren't there. They had checked out the day before. So there was nobody in the space next to ours, which they were side by side, but they didn't have a shared wall, if I'm not mistaken. They did not have a shared wall. Like, it was two separate houses. And that was really strange. So the last night that we stayed there, the first night, only my mom and I heard it. Second night, I don't think it bothered me. The last night we stayed there, Aisha heard it. And I heard it as well, and it sounded like someone, but it sounded like different feet. It sounded like they had shoes on. And Aisha said it kept sounding like they were walking into the room and stopping at the vanity, which was at the side of her bed, at the foot of the bed. And it was so interesting. So one other thing that happened in New Orleans is when we were walking the street, and this is when I talk about spiritual spaces, what I mean, it's like there can be energy that stays in a space, no matter how many times it's renovated, no matter like how many coats of paint you put on the wall. Some of these things we see in these movies are true. Like, there are some true things they show us, even if it looks crazy and it might be coded. There's a lot of truth they have to show us, I believe, by contract. Um, by contract. So we were walking on a tour, and it was called the Bad Bitches Tour. And it was a good tour. It was a late night tour, and it was going through these different spaces and houses and landmarks in New Orleans. And it was it was a foot tour, so you're walking. And it's every space you stop at, they would tell you about the prominent women who were bad girls of New Orleans. We walk up on this one space, and it is huge. It's a mansion. It's big. It's so big. It's big. And I'm looking at it, and as we walk up, my head starts to hurt. Like, it just feels like a piercing headache. And the closer we get, the more intense it gets. Like, it gets to the point where it's hurting my eyes. And the tour guide is talking, and I turn to Aisha, and I'm like, my head hurts so bad. Like, it felt like a knife was going through my head. It was horrible. And I've had migraines, so that's literally what it felt like, was a triggered migraine. And after I said that to Aisha, the woman goes, and yeah, the locals don't even walk on that side of the street because many of them will experience nausea or headaches. They cross on the opposite side of the street. It was
Well,
Delphine
lady,
Lalaurie
take me
house.
on the other side.
We were
Wait,
on the
what?
other side. We were across from the house. We were across
Lady,
from it.
take me
But
down the street and tell me about it.
you remember Delphine Lalaurie from American Horror Story? It was her home, her mansion. And I felt a completely different energy when we were at Marie Laveau's. Completely different. Before it burned down recently.
Yeah.
Lake Lanier fire. Lake Martin in Alabama had a fire on the same day as the Lake Lanier fire. And that's another land that slaves might have inhabited. I think it belonged to, it's a man-made lake. It's a man-made lake, just like Lake Lanier, and it's on
But they
land, I
burnt that
think,
place
that
down in
was,
New Orleans too. They ain't been playing. They
so
said it is
y'all be
retribution
safe out here
time.
spiritually. Y'all be safe out here spiritually, because the spirits are talking, and they're
And as
acting.
above, so below.
As
And
above,
the
so below.
chaos above is already going on below.
Hello. So let's get real. But to get to the topic at hand, because y'all know us, we had to go on a
We
quick
be
tangent.
talking.
We just be talking.
We on the spectrum. Give us
Hello.
list. If you hear, you probably own it too.
There it is. You get it. So keeping your hands to yourself. So as we know, R. Kelly is in prison.
Rightfully
You
so.
know, rightfully so. And there was a medical incident. I'm going to tiptoe around the word choice here, y'all. So do your own research, look and see what was going on. But he was hospitalized for either attempting to unalive himself or, as his lawyers put it, a plot to unalive him by the prison and other people or entities, whatever. And with his case, it's interesting because I had a moment where I believe they were saying he was home, but what it was is he was in the hospital, and they're like he should be allowed to finish his sentence at home. He should just be at home detention. It should be at home detention. He should recover, and y'all should let him go home. And the judge said, absolutely not. We won't be doing that. No,
It's in the
keep
prisons
your
every day.
hands. Hello,
Absolutely not.
keep your hands to yourself. That's how you got here. You're gonna have to stay here. Because I was like, did he get out? And then I was like, no, he did not get out, people. He's in there. But it's interesting because we've also just seen the lawsuit come out about Tyler Perry.
Yes,
And
and his
we
the executive, who was he, like a president or something like that on the company? Yes,
feel me. I didn't know about him.
child. His executive also has a lawsuit now for RAPE and somebody. Yes,
Keep your hands to
I mean,
yourself.
yes.
Wow. So Tyler Perry's is like a multi-million-dollar lawsuit for I think the guy claimed assault. I think he claimed assault. I
What
know he
happened to
claimed
Christian
harassment.
Keys? ESPN.
And his
Christian
voice
Keys hang up.
recordings and his recordings,
Come here, nothing else. He must got his coins.
he must have. He had to have.
Had to have got his
Because he's
coins.
not saying anything right now that I know of. But
Mm-mm.
this guy he stars in one of his shows. I think it's Oval. And I think it's the Oval. I think that's the show that he's on. And then
Child,
he was
you
on
know I
another
don't
show
know.
of his. But did you read the text messages?
Okay, so
Please go
because
through it.
I was a little confused with this whole thing. I was like, Harpo, what is going
What is
on?
going on
Because
here?
that, first of all, that's a wild conversation to just
Wild conversations.
casually. We've been friends for a long time, and I am unfiltered. But I don't even think we done had, like, our conversations ain't never sounded like that. Like, if people go through our message threads, I don't think it's gonna look
Nothing at all.
nothing like that. It is like, for one, the way that the texts were like worded from Tyler
Yes.
Perry, I was like, child, this why you write like that. This is why you write your shows like you do.
Like a middle school girl. That's what it was reading for me. I saw somebody say Tyler Perry text like a middle school girl, and I was like, why is that so accurate?
It was so strange.
It was so
Like,
weird.
I felt
Reading it,
like I
I
needed
felt
to cover up
odd.
reading. Like, I
I
felt
was like, I felt
violated. Like,
so
what?
weird reading it. I was like, this is weird. Like,
I
this
was
is,
like, I don't think I should be reading it.
I don't like, I was like, I just remember
I
saying
like
out
it.
loud, I was reading it by myself. I was like, I don't like this. I don't think I
Right,
like
like,
this. Y'all go
I
read
don't
the
like
text
it.
messages. It's just
Like, if
odd.
somebody was texting me like that, like, it would turn me off.
You know which text really tickled the hell out of me? When he sent him the picture of him on the boat. And the
Hmm.
guy's response was, you're right, the ocean is so blue, or something like, I've never seen the ocean so blue. And he's like, what about the stud on the boat?
And the crazy thing is, like, the guy's responses was almost like they was having two different conversations. Like,
Two
he just
different.
would, it's like the dude would just like brush it off and act like it wasn't happening. And just kind of be like,
It,
yeah, and and just go
I
on with
feel like
whatever he was
it
talking about
felt
before.
like a plot. Like, I'm not gonna lie. It felt orchestrated. And I'm just wondering how,
But the thing is like, it wasn't even like he was leading him into
no,
it. It was just these weird ass responses. Like,
but
every
this is my
response just had
thing.
a little cringe in it.
This is my thing too, is I wonder what the in-person conversation was
Yes.
like, the thing that we don't have record of. Because I'm
Yes.
also believing when you have, now I'm not at all, let me first say this. I am not at all excusing anything that he has been, that is alleged in behavior and in any form of harassment. Like, no, not at all. Like, I'm not by any means justifying anything that Tyler Perry may or may not have done. That's not my business. And if he did
Mm-hmm.
something wrong, he needs to be
Get him.
punished for it. Absolutely. Especially if you're trying to use your position of power to get what you want in every sense of the
Mm-hmm.
word. I don't like that. Like, I don't, there's no respect for that. What I will also say is that two things can be true at the same time. This could have also been applied because it looks like when you look at the messages, it looks like, again, two different conversations are being had, but it looks like the guy's whole purpose was to, it almost seemed like to keep the conversations going. Like, because if I don't want you texting me and I don't want you
Yeah.
and I'm not on that, even if you're someone who's in a, I would say in any position of power, because I've had that experience before where I had a manager at a job, he'd know me, I don't care what your role is, I don't want you and I don't want you talking to me
Mm-hmm.
like that. It makes me uncomfortable. Please stop.
Yeah. Now I will say, because I know, especially like for women in workforces, like when you have like
That's
male
true.
bosses, men, like they will literally, even me like bartending and stuff, I've had men like say things and I kind of
Hmm.
just laugh it off, brush it off, and just
Let it, yeah,
next subject, or
picking battles.
like I was saying before, you know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
And not really feed into it, because you feel like if you don't feed into it,
That's true.
and then also if you respond to it, depending on like the dynamic of the situation, it could have a negative effect. Especially, I know like that, it's just kind of like how like women, they'll just give their number out anyway just so they can stay alive, because
Yeah.
it's crazy out here now.
Men are
It's
crazy.
real
No, men are
crazy out
absolutely
here right
crazy.
now.
No, men are
And
crazy.
so
And women.
it's
They're
like
crazy women.
on the
Yeah.
one hand, it's like, why does he feel like, it's weird? Like you would
It's
think
weird.
rationally of like, why does he feel comfortable even talking to you this way? But then on the flip side of it, not you got to think it's like a male billionaire with
Yeah.
power
You're right.
giving
You're
you an
right.
opportunity and a job. There's no telling how much he had done for him behind the scenes, to
Hmm.
where he might have felt like, I want this opportunity, so I'm gonna just, or like,
Do what I
how you
gotta
might
do.
let somebody flirt with you, but it's
Hmm.
like, as long as you don't try it, whatever type. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like,
That's why
I
I'm
have
like,
people that'll flirt with me, but
hmm
it's like, child, I'm not giving you no. So it's like, you can say whatever you want to say. I'm just not gonna
you're not
say it,
gonna get no
nothing.
play.
I
Yeah.
might laugh at you and just keep it pushing, but I'm not
Hmm.
gonna like completely disassociate myself with you. Now I
Hmm.
ain't gonna lie, them text messages. When I tell you, I would have been ha ha in all them messages.
A quick
Y'all
LOL.
just would have saw ha 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 on every bubble, and a whole bunch of crying eye emoji.
It was, yeah, it really, this whole
Oh my goodness,
situation
it was
gives me
so unreal.
just another ick. Like,
Hmm.
I'm so over it. I'm so over it.
Yeah,
Like, who's next? Go
and
ahead and
it's
just
like,
go
my
ahead and
thing
come
is
on out.
like, people feel
Let me
like,
know who
oh,
not to support.
they trying to tear down all of these
Another
black
black man.
men and da 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 da.
Hmm.
But it's like, is it the people trying to tear down the black men in power, or are these men, regardless of their nationality, ethnicity, whatever, these men are getting in power and abusing it, which is a common thing that happens. Maybe there's a
Coming.
common denominator of men getting in positions of power and abusing their authority. It
Hmm.
happens. Look at the police.
Look at the,
A bunch of men in power abusing their authority, prior to
literally.
women being allowed in there, because it used to not be no women.
So that
And a lot
actually
of women
leads,
get in male dominated spaces and do the same thing.
that leads perfectly into the next keep your hands to yourself person, because
Yes.
Diddy's Diddy's case has come to a close. We haven't gotten to sentencing yet, but it has come for the most part to a close as far as the trial, and
Hmm.
he
The
was found
verdict.
guilty of two of the charges.
Hmm.
Yes, and not guilty of
The
the RICO charges
prostitution and something
and
else,
the
but not the RICO
transportation,
charges.
one of the transportation
Yeah.
ones, I think. Um, and it's interesting because my take on it is this. When the case was going on, I made it very clear with the few people I talked about it because I also did my best not to tap into it every day. I didn't want to know every day
Same.
what was going on. I'm not reading the
I
transcripts.
really
I'm not
checked out on
interested.
it.
It's like, I'll check in whenever Ms. Mojo or Watch Mojo would do them a little quick little 10 things from day 3. Okay, yeah, give me that. Give me the head, the highlights, the bullet points. I don't need the whole breakdown. Give me this quick 12-minute video. Thank you. I appreciate that. So I was keeping up with the case that way. I didn't care about all of the details. It was things I just didn't want to keep intaking
Yeah.
and or ingesting, I think is a better word, but because that's how it was. People were just taking it in, like it was just
Mhm.
whatever. But what one thing I did say about that is I kept saying, if you are going to charge this man with RICO, with any form of RICO charge, you have got to have the evidence, or you will not be able to get any of the RICO charges. And that was my big thing with them, is if they did not provide enough evidence and a strong enough proof to where there was no reasonable doubt that his business
Mhm.
was used, which we know his business was used for this. It's obvious.
I thought I thought that the whole thing with Cassie's mom and the kidnap, that whole
Was
thing, and
gonna
her
help.
having to send I thought that was gonna be like, because it went to your company. This is company, like I thought that would be the thing to tie it all together.
But
No,
then you
it was
look
a
at the
mistake.
makeup of the jury also. If you look at the makeup of the jury, that played in his favor as well. And them not proving without a reasonable doubt that his business was used to
Mhm.
facilitate some of the horrors he put on other people. Like, I'm not surprised Diddy's gonna walk on this. And I'm not a betting man. I don't be betting money. But if I were a betting man, I would be willing to bet money Trump's gonna pardon him. This man is not going to
You
serve any time.
think?
I think so. They're friends. They're friends. They've been friends. If you go and look up what Trump has ever said about Diddy, it's only been good things. I think he's a very good
I didn't even
man.
know they
He's
was
very
cool like
cool.
that. I
He's
ain't
a
gonna
good
lie.
GM. Yeah, yeah, they're cool.
Cause I don't tap in on neither one of them hoes.
I don't either.
So I
But
didn't
this
even
is
know
my
they was
thing:
cool like
is if
that.
you look at if let's think back to when we were young. Let's think back
Mhm.
to like the 2000s. Trump had The Apprentice. Diddy had Making the
Mhm.
Band. As time progressed and The Apprentice progressed and Making the Band didn't, but Diddy was Diddy, doing all types of business, all types of deals. Of course,
Mhm.
they're running into each other all the time. But even
Yeah.
when Aubrey was on The Apprentice, The Celebrity Apprentice, in the past, 10 years, I don't know how I never kept up with the show. I wasn't interested. I think I watched one season of The Apprentice, and it was the
I watched the
one
one
with
with
Nene.
Kenya and Vivica and oh,
I
I saw
watched
the
the
one with
one with
Nene too.
Nene and Star. That was a good season.
That
I
was
did
good.
watch that one. And then them Trumps did not know what to do with them. They had no
They
clue what
didn't
to do with
know
them.
what to
They
do
had,
with
and I was like, I'm here for that. But on the season with Aubrey, he even talks about his opinion of Diddy, and he asks her opinion or what she
them.
thinks or
Which I
something
we
like that,
know what
and
she
she's
think
like,
of him.
I'm not gonna get into that. He's like, I think he's a good guy, and she's like, okay, I'm not gonna get into that. Like,
Okay. Because we know what
you're
she think
entitled
of
to
him.
that. Like, that's your period. Um, So I also feel like if they really wanted to get him on Rico, they would have charged all the people associated with him.
Mhm.
The
But you
the
know
business
what?
manager and all of them.
I feel like a part of me feels like it would have been the same regardless. One,
Hmm.
because for some reason in this country, like people don't understand. It's like people go to jobs that they hate every day, but then they can't understand why those people were still working for Diddy. They don't understand about people being groomed. They don't
Hmm.
understand why DV victims go back. Like
Hmm.
they don't understand the psychological aspect of it because their
Stockholm
brains
syndrome.
are delayed. Like I don't know why there's so much knowledge, there's so much stuff put out there about these things, but for some reason the girls still don't get it. It don't click for them. And they feel like the people feel like Child Cassie was a co-conspirator and she was in on it and she just wanted some money. I don't know how we got there, but okay. I don't know how this little 19-year-old girl that he groomed turns into
19.
a, like, come on, who was drugged up most of the time. Like, okay, but she was the mastermind. Okay. And then it's like you have people like Dawn who it's like, yeah, you saying all these things, but girl, they got you still collecting coins and going back. And so people will look at that and be like, well, if it's so bad, why would you go back there? But then I think people don't understand the psychological aspect of it, and they
Hmm.
don't even think about the fact that they go back to the job they hate, with the boss they hate, and the coworkers that they hate every day. Why don't you
They're
quit?
still married to the person they don't
You
like.
quit. You still married to a person you don't like. You staying for the kids, but you don't understand why they gonna go back. Like,
But see, that's the thing about it that so many people are missing that higher thought, higher consciousness component of it. They're not even using common sense. So they're definitely not
mm-mm,
going to be using their higher knowledge. Like they're not
I
there.
don't think they have it.
They don't have it. Common sense isn't common anymore. It's just sense at this point, and most people don't have it.
They don't have two brain cells to rub together.
And what's crazy about it is people like the people these days. No, it's y'all niggas older than us too. Don't do that. No, it's not just people these days. It's like the new generation. No, there's a bunch of y'all out there
No,
who've been around here for a minute,
and this country was this country before we got here.
and we
So,
just inherited this shit. Like y'all did
okay.
this. This is y'all's fault. We inherited
This
this hot
whole
mess.
setup, this whole social construct, we didn't create the social
We didn't create
construct.
none of this. We're trying to unlearn and create something completely
We
new and
are
different.
literally like I feel like the millennials are the generation of unlearning, and
It's
then the
us
generation after us gets to just not experience it to an extent because they're
to an extent,
completely
yeah.
like, we're not even tapping into this.
They're like, But see, that's one thing. That's one thing I will say about a millennial is we will leave a job. We will say no. We will put our foot down and be like, absolutely not.
Oh my goodness, when I tell you, I had went on this interview for this management position one time, and it was an older man who was like the store manager. He was like, I'm not gonna lie, you having a different job every 2 years concerns me. And I was like, well, why does that concern you? If it didn't work for me, if I peaked there, it's time to go. You
Hmm.
know, how old do you think I am? You thought I was gonna stay? I couldn't have stayed there that long. I would only have
Right.
one job on my damn resume.
What are you talking
What
about?
the heck?
But see, that's one thing, and I share that with people when they ask me about my resume because I will. If I hit a certain point in time, and this is why I'm gonna go on the record and say this so people understand, so y'all can stop looking at me crazy because I have a method to my madness. I had a mentor tell me, may he rest in peace, Timothy Spraggins, when I was in college. He's a frat brother of mine. He was an awesome man. He used to call me on my shit. He was real. It was a real one, real one. But he said to me right around the time I was getting ready to graduate college, he said, "This is what you do." And he was he if you ever hear me say stellar and I say it a certain time, that's what I'm talking about. It's him. That's stellar. He and extrapolate. There were so many words. I just learned so many things in mannerism from this fabulous, amazing person. So okay, he was talking to me one time and he was like, "So this is what you do when you graduate. You get a job and you work there for about a year. Learn everything you can in that year. Be able to do your boss's job in that year. Learn everything you can because you learn quick. Learn it. Then what you do, you go to the next job. You go ahead and move on because after you've learned everything you can, he said, that's the thing. If I could go back and do it differently, you go back and learn it. You learn everything you can. You master that position and you move on if they're not going to develop you. If they're not going to take that
Period.
time to get you to the next level, you go for more money, more
Yep.
responsibility at a different company, utilizing the skill set you just obtained, and you don't stay somewhere you don't
Yep.
need to stay.
Yep.
That's why on my resume, the place that I've been the longest was 3.5 years.
Because
Because
one
when I
thing
had
about
learned
me,
what I
if I
needed,
hit that ceiling or I peak,
it's time to go.
time to go.
I'm like, okay, so now that we got
Time
here,
to
because I
go.
remember I was at one company I was working, and it was like I had within first, it took me the first month of figuring out what I was actually doing. Because I'm like, y'all did
Hmm.
not put this in the job description. That does not do this justice. And then about the third month, I had figured out my job. By the
Hmm.
sixth month, I was running circles around people throughout my region. And within the first year, they're like, okay, we're going to go ahead and put you in this program. We usually wait till people have been here a couple of years before they get in this program. But it was like 9 months. They're like, when you hit
Hmm.
your year, this program will have started. So we want you in this program. I did the program, aced it, came out in the first class. Because when you come out of this, and you know what company I'm talking about, when you come out of the
Hmm.
class, then they're either going to give you a store or now you're store eligible. So you just keep working at the store you're at and doing your thing. And when one comes up, We're gonna send you and see if you can run it. And I was on such a fast pace with my job that once I had learned everything I needed to do and shit hit the fan, oh, mm-mm. It's because y'all said, oh, you said
Written time.
I'm not gonna be okay because you don't like me. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna find me another. It's time. It's time for me to go.
It's time.
And so
That's so
that's what I
true.
did. And ever since, every step that I've taken has been significantly progressive. I've learned so much more, so much faster, and I'm still utilizing everything I learned there. So,
Mm-hmm.
boom. But
Period.
I wanted to rewind because I want to go back to something you said, friend. Because first of all, the analogy you gave a minute ago, talking about people and how they will have this opinion of this situation involving him because maybe his lifestyle is aspirational or who he is, this role model, this thing to look up to, but not seeing the connection in their own life and us saying they don't have sense. That was a
Mm-hmm.
beautiful analogy, friend. And I just want to let you know how that when you said it, I was about to say something then, but I said, she's cooking. She is cooking. I'm gonna let her cook.
Let her
She is
cook.
cooking. I was like, ooh, because you said that, and I just wanted to shout you out because my friend is brilliant. So I just really wanted to shout you out for that. But it's not a surprise, I don't think, to either of us at least, how this thing has played out. And I do still think,
Mm-mm.
and I think what's different, because people are like, what's different between him and like an R. Kelly or Bill Cosby, is that what people have to understand about Diddy is Diddy was one of the few who has managed to crack their ceiling and be able to rub elbows with a lot of them who are the top actual 1%.
Mm-hmm.
So y'all need to understand that yes, he's black. Yes, this is a black man, but the way that he has moved through that ladder to get and do the things that he's done to get to where he is, he's up there with people who are running the nation. He's up there with those people. Like, so you think they're gonna let something happen to him? Yeah, they might let it be public because he was an idiot and got caught. But do you think they're gonna let something happen to him? Really? Have
And he
they
probably
let
got
it happen to him?
evidence on them. Hello.
Hello, because they are at the party. So you think we're gonna find out who's at the parties if he's rubbing elbows with these people?
That's what I wanted to know. That's what I was hoping was going to Who was at the parties?
Because
Because I was waiting for the salacious
I'm gonna
because I'm like,
say
who was at the party?
LG,
Who was there?
LG, his daddy. That's who y'all need to be looking at. If you're connected to this one, and we know this one's connected,
Listen.
they're not gonna let anything happen to you.
And
They're
two,
gonna make you
people got
sweat.
to understand too, like, this man has been like Bad Boy was a thing when we were children. Before some of y'all was
Before,
even born.
yeah,
Okay?
before.
Bad Boy been a thing and he's been talked about of being this like little menace since then,
Since then,
from back then in the 90s.
but
A
what
lot
has
of
he
people don't
done?
remember the whole Diddy, the Pac and Biggie beef started with Pac and Diddy. He had an issue with Diddy.
They
Like,
still, and you know,
people
even
be
with this
forgetting
case,
about record studios getting
people try to
shot
bring that
up and
up.
all that stuff.
People were trying to connect him to those unalivings. And
Hmm.
he could be connected to those unalivings. Like people have to get this. If we think about how big Jay-Z is, that's how big Diddy is. Bigger, if not bigger.
What happened with Al B. Sure? Wasn't he supposed to be a witness or something? Wasn't they supposed to call him? What happened with that?
There were a lot of people who were supposed to be called that were not called.
And they never called Aubrey. I don't think. I don't even think they subpoenaed
Aubrey said
her.
she wasn't going to testify. She said that when the trial started, right before the trial started,
Hmm.
she made it clear that she wasn't going to testify because they caught her. Like, wasn't it in New York? Was it in New York?
I don't even remember.
I
I
think it
just
was in New
remember her.
York. Wherever
I
it
was just
was,
surprised.
she was in the city. And when the paparazzi caught her in the city, they're like, "Oh, are you here for the trial?" She's like, "No, I'm not testifying."
Yeah, I don't think they had her as a witness.
There it is.
And that
So,
was weird to me because she's been the main person all this time speaking out
been
against
speaking
him. So
out
I
about
thought
against
that
him
was
for a
weird
long
that they
time.
wouldn't even put her on the list.
But they put
Like,
Don Richard, who stayed on his payroll up until the last decade.
right, right. So it
Just
was just a
saying.
lot of weirdness
There's a lot of weird
going.
things, which is how
And
we
then
should have
the
known how it was
last
going to play out.
lady, Miss Jane Doe, they said he paid for her lawyers. So it's like, what the hell?
Just I'm like, she's
What the hell? A witness, but he paying for your lawyer. Get out
make
my
it make
state.
sense.
And
Make it
you
make
still
sense.
live in the place that he's paying for. Girl, you are not in a position at all.
Yeah,
Girl,
I do need
you're
people
still
to
under his.
understand though. this was going to play out this way. Like it was always going to play
Hmm.
out this way because of who he actually is. Like I think again, they have a
Yeah.
perception that he the Diddy bot. That's what they be thinking. But no, like
Right.
this man, look at Ciroc. That he owned Ciroc. Like that's he bought Ciroc. He
He's a
bought it. He
billionaire.
owns so many songs and albums that he receives the royalties on because he did
Because the
not give
artist
them
ain't
to the
getting
artist.
it.
So like a lot of people are missing the
And
point as
didn't
to
get him none
how
of the money
wealthy
that they
he
did. Oh,
actually is. Like not to mention all the other endeavors of his, Sean
mm-hmm.
John, fragrances, like fashions, like all of the things he has ownership of. This
Yeah.
is a top 1% person for real, y'all. Like
Mm-hmm.
and say like I don't imagine much is going to happen with the Tyler Perry lawsuit. It will probably settle just like all the others have. This man just
Mm-hmm.
wants the money. Even if this situation has gone and happened the way that he says it is, this is going to be one of those things where they're going to settle outside of court. There
Oh,
will not be a
absolutely.
trial for this. They're going to
Now
prefer that they settle
the
outside of court too.
executive though, that's what I'm curious to see how that plays out. Because they said he actually, like the man said he actually did something to him, and he said Tyler Perry covered it up. So that I'm
Now,
interested
see,
to see
that
how
could
that
be a
plays
whole.
out.
Now, that's going to be a whole nother thing right there.
So
That's a
how that play out.
because that is not civil. That is criminal.
And I think people have to understand of like one, I need y'all to stop saying, oh, when the white people do it, when these white men do it, what about da 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 da? It just because a white person is also doing the same thing. This is America. We know that they're not going to get the same treatment. We
We know
know that.
that.
It doesn't mean that because you're black, you should be allowed to commit the crimes too.
Hello. Wrong is
Like,
still
stop
wrong, whether
being
they're white or
stupid.
black. What wrong
Just
is
because
still
a
wrong.
white person is out here being a pedo doesn't mean a black person should be allowed to get away with it.
There it is.
That is the
Those are
most
not the reparations
disgusting and
I'm interested
stupid
in.
logic I hate when people say that. It sounds
Those are
so
not
stupid. Are
the
you really
reparations I'm
saying that
interested in.
because other people are okay, I can get off on this, that black people should too? No,
Mm-mm.
they all should be in jail. Lock them all up.
Lock them all
But
up.
then my other thing is like, people have to understand nobody's targeting these people. This is the industry. For years, for before our time, the industry has been grimy.
It's been
The
like this.
casting couches have been a thing. The industry has been full of music, and Hollywood has been full of men in power who have abused their power and abused people.
Hmm.
This is not new.
This is not
What's
new.
new is people going to court about it and speaking out about it.
Hmm.
That's what's new.
This is the
Because
exact same
before,
thing from the
because those
40s
people were
till now.
gatekeepers,
Hmm.
people couldn't really speak out because you would literally not have a career.
And not
Now,
that,
because of
you
social
would
media,
be
you
gone.
could. You'd be gone.
You'd be gone.
Right. It would be a YouTube video about what happened to so and
What
so.
happened to Sally? Yeah, Sally is at the bottom of a
And
lake
we
somewhere,
see
honey.
those now when we watch like those unsuns and stuff like that. And you wonder what happened to people, and then you hear the crazy story. And so it's just like I don't understand. Like I do understand people are stupid,
People are
but
stupid.
stop being stupid.
Stop being
I was
stupid.
gonna understand. I was gonna say I don't understand, but they don't get what they're stupid. Stop being
Hmm.
stupid is
Stop being
what
stupid,
I meant to
please.
say.
Find something else to do.
Let's
There's
stop.
so many other things to do and
So
be
many other things you could
besides
be
stupid.
doing, especially in 2025, where there's so much information at your fingertips. You don't have to be stupid anymore. You literally don't.
You literally don't. Keep your hands to yourself. People, keep your hands to yourself. I have one more thing I want to say before we get out of here.
Hmm.
Because something's bothering me. And we're going to break this down a little bit more in another episode, y'all. So this is going to give you just a little tidbit. Have you been seeing the AI lately?
Listen,
Okay.
I've been telling y'all to get y'all converses and be prepared
And be prepared.
because the way I don't know if you saw that video of the AIs talking to each other, and then when they realized they were both AI, they went into talking in code.
No, I didn't
Yes.
see that.
Yes. There's this video where it's like two AI phone things, they talking to each other. Like somebody calls a thing, you know how you get the automated thing or whatever that you got to
Hmm.
talk to. They realize that they're both AIs talking to each other. And then they decide, oh, since we're both AI, let's go.
Mm-mm.
I can't remember what the name of it was. They called it a specific thing, but they started to speak in like sounds and frequencies. It was so wild.
Yeah. See,
I was like,
we,
I need my AI not to be able to identify other AIs and decide to talk to each other behind the scenes. Too far. Too fucking far.
too fucking far.
I
I'll
don't
say
care
this
how you try
too.
to explain it away. It's too far.
AI, AI, and I've told a lot of people I'm close to this. Not a lot. A lot is a stretch. I've told a couple people this. Wow. Just lied. Just lied. But I've been telling people this lately is, you know, if there is a WW3 coming up, it's not
Listen,
going to be nuclear. It's not,
it's gonna be
because
tech.
it is going to be tech. It's going to be misinformation. It's going to be AI. And the way that AI has mastered black sense and black mannerisms and black faces and black movements is alarming. Because the video, have you
It's
seen the video of the
very
girl with the
alarming.
chicken wing or with the chicken drum, the chicken leg?
No, I haven't seen
Y'all, I'm gonna find the video. I'm gonna send it to you, D. The girl is eating, like, it looks at first like it's like a mukbang. You know what they were called, mukbangs, where they're
that.
eating and like, so it looks like it's a mukbang and she's talking about, and the black scent and the way she's talking, at first I was like, it's, but what caught my attention is when she's talking, there's a bowl or a plate or bucket of fried chicken drumsticks, legs, and she's
Oh,
grabbing
legs.
the leg, the big leg, not the little, wingette, not those, but like the actual big leg. And she's talking, and she said something to the effect, I don't remember what it was talking about, but this is what made it so alarming, because it mastered the way that we talk to each other. And it had said something like, why you worried about why are you worried about the same man you let keep coming back to your house, sis? Or something like that. It said something to that. Why are you saying such and such when you let that same man keep coming to your house every night, sis? Or something like that.
Hmm.
And it goes and bites the chicken leg, but it bites the chicken leg. 1 minute, let me get something to demonstrate. It bites the chicken leg like, and it pulls back, and there's no bone. And I'm like, but it like
Some
ate
people
the
do be
whole
eating chicken
chicken leg.
bones. My brother
It
be eating
ate
chicken
the
bones.
whole chicken leg like it was. And at first, that's why I had to watch it 2 or 3 times, because that's the thing. That's how I know it's an AI video. When I have to watch it back and be like, hold up,
Hmm.
because that
Something off.
that was off. Like, what? And I go back and I'm like, because maybe I misinterpreted as like actual chicken on the bone, and it's that vegan
Hmm.
chicken that looks like a chicken
Hmm. Got
leg,
like a little stick.
and it's actually that. Maybe that's what it is. And I go back and watch the video, and that way that little end piece of that AI chicken disappeared when she moved her
Um.
hand, I was like, oh,
Hmm.
it's AI.
It's make believe.
But it's alarming, y'all. So we're gonna talk
But you
more
got to
about
think
AI.
too, like
Hmm.
we're training, like people literally train their AIs how to speak. That's why I don't be using Siri and stuff because you can literally tell them how you want them to talk to you. So it's like the more we use it, the more they're learning us because that's all AI is doing.
Well, I told you
AI is
mine talked
using
back to me one
human
time, right?
information,
I told you
which
mine
is
talked back
I
to me one
can't
time. And it was funny, which is why
to
I've
freak
always
me out.
said, sometimes I'm like, if I'm driving and I need to call my job, I can just say, hey, name. If I say it, it's going to respond while we're recording, and I don't have time. I don't have time. But I can call its name, and I can be like, hey, call my job, and it will. Okay. So, and that helps me out because I'm driving. I don't have to, do the things. I can just have it call it. And when it does things for me, or if I ask it a question like that, can just quick Google, like, hey, what is the such and such and such and such? It'll tell me. But I changed the voice from being the little regular voice to being that of, they have a black man's voice on there. And
Hmm.
I would be funny, but I was like, I'd always made a point. I said, I'm gonna always be polite just in case one day you run the world. And I think I even said that to my phone one day, like, I'm gonna just always be nice to you because I never know if
Yeah.
you're gonna be the next president. Like, and just laughed it off. And I would always say, like, I asked it a question and it answered it, I would always say, okay, thank you. I would always say that. I'd always said that ever since I used the damn thing.
Hmm.
Y'all, One time I asked it to do something for me. It did it, and I said, okay, thank you. And then my damn phone said, no problem.
Excuse me, bitch.
That's what I said. I said,
Excuse
oh, I
me.
don't know that I like that. I don't think I like that. I said,
Like that
not
at
you
all.
talking back. I said, nope.
No.
You've never done that before. I don't like it.
No.
I don't like it. And so, this is my thing is I do believe that moving forward, we are going to have to equip ourselves and understand it to a certain degree. We're going to have to, because as this next level of warfare comes about, this is going to be involved. And if you can't tell that what you're looking at is AI, you will be fooled into misinformation. That's going to be how part of this battle is fought.
I don't know. I think I'm Will Smith to the bullshit. I'm gonna
Because
hold you.
not you, the general you, people, like people.
No, but I'm
Um,
saying like with all this AI shit, I'm Will Smith to the
you thinking
bullshit.
about iRobot? Um,
Yeah. I've
I
been
was
listen, ever since that movie came out, I've been telling people this is going to happen.
this.
This is for real.
That's the
This
direction
is
we're headed in.
preparing you.
You
I
know,
might
it's
need to watch it
bad.
tonight just to re up and
It's
prepare
bad
myself.
when even Elon Musk is like, yeah, let's not go too far with this thing. Like it's,
Yeah, because he didn't already he seen what happened with his little robots and they started fighting people and stuff. It was
you
a video of
know,
them in China. They was doing something with the little robot thing, try the robot attack them. I said, see, that's what you get.
that's what you get. We're gonna do a third part to this, y'all, because we need to talk about the girls fighting. Because I brought it up, but we need to talk about
Yeah.
Elanisha
Doniana
and
and
Daniana.
Elanisha.
Elanisha and Daniana, because they was
The
going
girls
back and
are
forth,
fighting.
and we need to talk about this big, disgusting, ugly, dirty, musty bill that has been passed into law. So
Ugh.
thank y'all so much. We know we have kept y'all, and we appreciate y'all because this was a key. Thank you for tuning into this episode. We love you, and we'll see you next week in another episode of the 5011 Chronicles, y'all. Peace.
Mm.
The
Glitter.
lights, action,
Action.
Hollywood.
Hollywood. You okay?
Oh, it's